changes. Let's go to Chicago, visit with Tim Evans. He's with Longleaf Trading, and he joins us right now. And Tim, thanks for being a part of the show here. I noticed where this morning the soybean trade got a little boost, a shot in the arm, where they announced an overnight export sale from USDA. It was a batch of 120,000 tons of soybeans, but they did split it up in between two different marketing years. It looked like half of it went for the current marketing year, half of it went for the next marketing year, but the trade really seemed to kind of shrug it off, and they didn't get too excited about it. We're actually lower on the nearbys.
Yeah, I mean, the grain trade overall has been pretty choppy here today. I mean, I think weather's going to continue to be the driver here. But, you know, the announcement that you're discussing, I mean, on the back of what we saw going into last week, or the end of last week, where USDA announced shipment of 200,000 tons to Spain of soybeans, you know, that's showing that the export markets are a little more robust than a lot of traders had been expecting them to be here over the last couple of weeks. So, you know, I think some of the funds may be caught short here, you know, if these export numbers continue to be better than expected. And that looks to be the case here over the last week.
So you think maybe they're overrunning their headlights on the sell side here when we're currently getting into the key growing season now, and between now and August, my goodness, a lot can happen.
Yeah, I mean, the market last week added 27,000 new contracts to the short, so
wow.
To the short side. So yeah, I mean, the short position's getting pretty big, and those contracts were added at pretty depressed prices. You know, you're looking at, you know, close to $9. So, you know, I think it's going to be tough to find new sellers at prices much lower than what we've already accomplished. So, you know, I mean, at Longleaf, we think that we found, you know, at least an intermediate term bottom here, and we're looking for July to hopefully trek toward 950 here in the near term.
We talked about the wheat, where that spread is really widening out here between Minneapolis and the other two exchanges. How wide do you think that can actually get here with harvest underway?
No, good question. I mean, it's pretty amazing when you think about it, you know, how, you know, the northern plains and southern plains, the weather can be so different and have such a big impact on crops. But I mean, the weather situation in the northern plains, which is given the, you know, given the boost here to the Minneapolis wheat, I mean, they're looking for a bit of rain here, I believe, here midweek. I think if we do not see some of that rain, you know, I think we could see prices above $6 pretty quickly, and that obviously that spread would widen up.
And we're not that far away from it right now. Now, of course, this afternoon, USDA will have their new crop progress and mainly now their crop condition report. And so I think they're going to have condition reports on basically about everything but soybeans, if I recall right. So we'll be looking forward to that later on today. And we'll have, of course, the reaction tomorrow morning by the trade. Quick look at our cotton market, and then I'll bring you back here, Tim, and we'll talk livestock too. On the cotton trade right now, on that July contract, it's been struggling here today. We're down 32 points at 76.37. December down 19. We're talking with Tim Evans of Longleaf Trading, and we'll be back talking livestock coming up.
We've got teams all over talking about low salt, micronutrient, high efficiency fertilizer teams like it's something new. What's your take?
I tell you, Don, AgroLiquid team has had these technologies for over 30 years.
And really unprecedented application versatility, compatibility, and ease of use. So they're your pick for the championship season?
You bet. Their full line nutrients is going to take them all the way to the root zone.
They're my pick too. AgroLiquid's going all the way.
For maximum support of muscle aches and pains, introducing the new Copperfit Advanced Compression Sleeve. Now with zone compression for targeted support where you need it most. Guaranteed perfect fit and all-day comfort. And copper-infused wicking fabric for our most advanced compression sleeve yet. The new Zone Compression Sleeve from Copperfit. Live limitless. Available now exclusively at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Thank you so much for joining us here on the Market Day Report. I'm Marlin Bohling with you. Glad you could join us today, and thanks for allowing us into your home, your vehicle, wherever you may be. All right, we're going to talk more with Tim Evans of Longleaf Trading. He's there at the trading floor in Chicago. He joins us right now, and we're going to talk a little livestock market action. Well, we had some new midday cutout values that came out, Tim, a short time ago from USDA, and boy, they just about blew the doors off there. Look at that. Choice cuts up $2.18 today. and select cuts up $1.82. So a big rally to the upside in the wholesale beef trade today. And then on the pork side, we had pork carcass cutout values that came out, and they were up $1.19 at $92.59 per hundredweight. Loins were up 81 cents, hams up $1.06, and bellies were up $3.98, almost $4 higher this morning. So big move in the entire wholesale trade on the beef and the pork today. Yeah. Boy, I tell you what, the cattle market has really been firming up, especially on the feeders. Let's look at where they stand now, Tim. On the live cattle board, on the current prices, we now have that June contract up $1.16. So following through on the big rally we saw Friday, where it was over $3 higher, we're at 131.98. August now 27 higher, though, at 126.32. So it's much more subdued on that August contract. Meanwhile, on the feeders, we've been watching that with keen interest today. They're easing off their earlier highs. August up 88 at 159.60, and September up $1.38 right now at 159.20. Now we have the January being the only contract month that's hanging on to over a $2 gain. There for a little bit, we had them all but August up over $2. So it's starting to ease up a little bit here, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, and you mentioned a good point when you're looking at the June cattle, because really what we had talked about this week's past, where, the market was looking for and expecting cash prices to fall. So June futures went ahead and priced that in, but as we're getting closer to that expiration date, we're seeing cash prices diverge from futures prices. So, we have futures prices in June trading at still a very stiff discount to cash. And so effectively, what has had to happen, which we saw late last week and an extension of that today, is that futures have to adjust, because as cash continues to drift higher, we're going to have to erase that discount and go to par, theoretically, on expiration day. So, that movement's definitely in play today.
What about lean hogs? Do you think the top is in? Because the market has really struggled here today. We have June up 6 cents, but all the other months are lower. July, one of the more active contracts, down 70 now at 81.28. What do you make of this?
I mean, I think from a technical standpoint, you can definitely argue, the price action we've seen over the last 3 days is pretty toppy. And I think a lot of that from a fundamental standpoint is based on, we saw export sales the week before, and we've seen export sales decline to China, to South Korea, to Canada, to Mexico. And that was a large contributing factor to driving the market to where we are now. So I'm concerned a little bit that maybe some of these higher prices are, taking away the incentive for, our foreign counterparts to buy hogs currently. So, I think from a trading standpoint, I'd be looking for this setback to go slightly deeper and then wait, and ultimately to see if the new information regarding exports, if that's going to be a trend that ultimately develops. I think it's still a little too early to say that, but I think it's going to be tough for the market without information suggesting that exports are still going to be robust moving forward. It's going to be very difficult to take out those highs that we just put in last week.
All right, Tim, great information. I appreciate that. Tim Evans with Longleaf Trading in Chicago.